most amazing artist. I hope you are having a wonderful day today. Today, I'm super excited because we are going to be starting a brand new project. And this project is inspired by Gustav Klimt's painting, Tree of Life. So today, we are going to be drawing our own Tree of Life, except we're going to put a little twist on it, and we are going to be making gratitude trees. So we're going to be thinking of different things that we are grateful for today for the first part of our project, and next week we're going to start adding color to it. You're going to need a couple of things to get started on this project, and that is a brand new piece of paper. I'm starting with a white piece of paper because I know I'm going to add color to it later. I need a pencil today, and I am going to use a Sharpie. If you don't have a Sharpie, you can of course use a black marker. However, when I do add color to it next week, I'm going to be painting on it. So this is a washable marker, so if you choose today to use a black marker instead of a permanent Sharpie, then next week you will not be able to paint your colors on, because then this black washable marker will start to turn into paint, and it will bleed into all your other colors, turning them black. So just be careful with that, and a heads up for next time. So I know I'm going to be painting my colors next week, so I'm going to be using a Sharpie. But if you do choose to use this, then next week you can color using crayons or colored pencils, or you could just continue using washable markers. To start off, I am going to, of course, write my name on my paper because this is a brand new piece of paper. I'm going to flip it over because I want my name to be on the back. I don't want to draw on the same side as my name because then I'm just going to cover it up. So what's your name is on the back, and you flipped your paper over. You are ready to start drawing. Like I said earlier, we are taking inspiration from Klimt's painting Tree of Life. So we're going to be drawing a tree right in the middle of this paper. So to start off, I am going to use a pencil first, and I'm just going to draw this using simple lines. The first line I'm going to draw is going to start almost in the middle of my paper. Okay? Almost. It doesn't have to be perfectly in the center. You guys know whenever I draw something, I always like to practice with my finger first. And the first thing we're going to draw is a straight vertical line starting at the middle of our paper, going all the way down to the bottom of my paper. I practiced it enough, and now I'm going to draw that line. While you're drawing with your pencil today, make sure that you are drawing super duper light. Do not press down hard on your pencil like this, because what if we make a mistake and we want to erase it? It's going to be very hard to erase. So I like to remind myself to draw it light until I get it right, because then if I make a mistake, I can easily erase it. So if you want to practice that on the back of your paper, then you go ahead and do that. When I press down hard, it's very dark. When I barely press my pencil to my paper, it's very light. So draw it light until you get it right. We are going to be erasing these pencil lines, so we want them to be pretty light. I'm going to draw two diagonal lines coming off of the top of this vertical line that we just drew. So one diagonal line is going to go in this direction, the other diagonal line is going to go in the other direction, and it's going to make the letter Y. So there are my diagonal lines, and as we know, that painting by Gustav Klimt, the branching lines inside of the tree are actually swirls. So we need to turn these diagonal lines into some swirls. And we want them to be spaced out, okay? And what I mean by that is we don't want to draw our swirls like super tight. You see how those lines are very close together? We kind of want our swirls to be spread out a little bit, okay? That's going to help us in our next step. So do not make your swirls super duper tight. That's going to be really hard to outline, which is our next step. So when you do your spirals or your swirls, make sure it's a little bit loose, not very tight like this. Leave some space in between your spiral. And then from this spiral, I'm going to draw another spiral. It kind of makes another letter Y. And I'll do the same on this side. This one's going down a little bit more, and that's fine, but as you can see, my swirling lines are very loose. And I'm just going to start drawing more spirals kind of on top of each other, wherever I think they would look nice. So from this line that I just drew another spiral line coming off of it. And maybe I'll put one here, and maybe I'll put one here, and maybe one right here will look good. My goal here is to keep on adding spirals on top of each other until I fill up most of this space up here. All right, and I'm pretty happy with that. I want you guys to be super careful not to make your spirals too tight or too close together, because in this next step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start down here at the bottom of my paper, and I'm going to take my Sharpie, and I'm basically going to run my Sharpie right along the pencil line that I've already drawn. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. Okay. And this Sharpie is going to follow my pencil line. I'm leaving a little bit of a white space in between my pencil line and my Sharpie line. The reason why I'm not outlining right on top of my pencil is because I don't want this tree to just be a line. I want it to be a shape. So I'm going around this pencil to make my tree shape. Right now we just have tree lines, but going around this pencil line, I am creating one tree shape. And when I'm drawing, I like to rotate my paper because it helps me get a better angle for my lines that I'm drawing. And this does get a little bit confusing, so you have to go slow and take your time. Make sure your Sharpie is going where it needs to. It is literally just following where I put those pencil lines, but it's going right on the outside of that pencil. And I am taking my time because, of course, this is Sharpie. We can't erase it if we make a mistake. However, if we do make a mistake, that is totally fine. We are humans after all, and a mistake might happen every now and again. That's okay. We can problem solve and fix those mistakes. What's important is that we do not have a bad attitude towards it. We need to stay positive because there's no mistake that we can't fix together. But as you can see, my branches are starting to come to life here as I'm outlining this pencil. And it looks like these are very close together, so I am just going to put them right next to each other. It's okay if your Sharpie touches a little bit. We just want to make sure we go back outside of our pencil line because I just went on top of my pencil line right there. But when you have enough room again, go outside of your pencil line. You want to leave a little bit of white space right next to your pencil line. And this branch here is kind of falling off the edge, so I'm just going to pretend like it's still there and just pick up where that pencil starts back up again. I've outlined all around my pencil, and now I can go back in. Remember how I told you to draw it light? Because we are going to go back in and erase those pencil lines because we do not need them anymore. All right, after you have erased all of those pencil lines, you're ready for the next step. And inside of this tree, we are going to be writing some words. Right in the tree trunk here, we're all going to write the same thing. So I'm going to rotate my tree horizontally, and we're going to write in capital letters, I am grateful for. And then up here in all of our branches, we're going to write all the different things that we are grateful for. So it could be your family, it could be your friends, maybe it is you're grateful for cupcakes, or you're grateful for painting because it's your favorite hobby and it helps you feel relaxed. Maybe you are grateful for your pets that you have at home. You could be grateful for the food that you get to eat every single day and the bed that you get to sleep in. We all have so many things that we can be grateful for each and every day. This is the time of year where we normally celebrate our gratitude towards the things that we have in life. However, we should celebrate all year round. And this project is in celebration of just that, the things that we are grateful for. So like I said, in the trunk here, I'm going to rotate my paper horizontally, and I am going to write, I am grateful for. If you want, you can write it in pencil first. I think I'm going to do that so that I can get my spacing right, because I don't want to write I am grateful too big and not have enough room for the word for at the end. So I'm going to use a pencil, and I'm just going to lightly draw it out, and I am using capital letters so that it's easy to read. You want to make sure you're using your best handwriting too, because we want to be able to read all these wonderful things that you want to show gratitude towards. I am grateful for, oh, looks like I have just enough room. That ended up being perfect. So now I'm going to go over it with my Sharpie. And I'll go back in and take my eraser and erase any pencil lines that I can still see, because I want my craftsmanship to be nice and neat. And now, inside of these branches, I can start writing things that I'm grateful for. And I want to write it very clearly. So my first one is definitely family. And I think over here I'll do friends, because those seem to be the most important things in my life. My friends and my family are always there for me. I'm also very grateful for my students. You guys fill me with joy every single day. I love hearing your thoughts and comments about art, and I love seeing your creativity shine through your art. So students, I'm definitely grateful for you guys. And of course, you guys know I'm grateful for my kitty cat, Bean, so I have to put him in there. And I'm just going to fill up all of my branches with the different things that I'm grateful for. And I am using capital letters because I want to be able to read what I'm writing. So please try your best to have your very best handwriting during this part of our project so that we can read each other's gratitudes. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this part up and write all of my gratitudes up inside of my branches, and then I'll be right back. I just finished adding all of my gratitudes up here at the top, and sometimes I had just a little tiny space left, like on the ends of my branches, and I didn't have enough room for a word, so I would just fill it up with dots or hearts or something to fill up that empty space. And actually I have a little bit of empty space right here, so I'm just gonna fill that in with a little heart. Try to fill in that white space. And I think right here, one of my branches was a little bit too skinny for me to write an entire word, so I just filled it with little tiny dots. So it wasn't completely blank, but I knew I couldn't really fit a word in there and still be able to read it. So don't try to fit any words in any tiny skinny areas like that. You can just fill it up with little dots or a shape or something like that. We also want to draw a ground, and I'm just going to use a wavy line to draw the ground, and I'm going to do just a few wavy lines because we want down here, we're gonna do a few different colors. The reason why we put the ground down here was to just balance out our artwork a little bit, because it's very heavy up here with all these shapes and lines and words and everything. We needed to add something a little bit down here, so we're just gonna draw our ground using a few wavy lines on each side of our tree. And that's it for today. So all you have to do is draw your tree using those swirling lines, go over it with Sharpie, and then write I am grateful for in the trunk of your tree. In all these branches, write your gratitudes, and of course, make sure that you have a ground that your tree is growing from. I hope you guys have a lot of fun during this portion of our project. It's really important to practice gratitude like this every now and again throughout the year. I can't wait to see how your trees are turning out. I know they're going to be amazing because you guys are amazing. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.